Good afternoon, everybody. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, sink deeper into your mat. And for the first few moments of the practice, just allow yourself to breathe into anywhere in your body that needs a little extra attention. And allow that breath to breathe downward into the mat. Feeling a grounded heaviness to your bones. And then you just feel that softness of your belly just rising and falling. This is the time of year where things really start to speed up. Trying to fit everything in before the end of the year. Holidays, family, travel, holiday parties. There can be a lot of stimulus, it can be a lot of reactivity. So when there is too much stimulus, we can't find the subtlety. Because we're constantly reacting, we're constantly just bouncing back and forth between places and events, notifications, events. But during the practice today, if anything like that starts to come up, any sort of busyness of your mind, use your breath to keep that channel clear. And when you do that, you can receive that signal of peace and calm. If you need to in the practice today, you can stretch into things. You can find that really deep stretch down into the ligaments. Or you can back off a bit and find a more restorative practice using the props we have. Just be the steward of your own energies today. And use your breath to declutter the body. Declutter your mind. All together, take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Another one like that. Breathe from the heels all the way up to the crown of your head. Feeling the ribs push out from side to side. Feeling the belly lift. Maybe a little pause at the top. Vibrate the chest as you breathe out. Pull your knees into your chest slowly and gently and give yourself a really warm hug. You can rock a little side to side. You can bring your forehead to your knees if that feels good. And then you'll take that rock and roll over to a side and come around into a wide leg child's pose. Bring your knees as wide as feels comfortable for you. If you'd like a block under your head or your chest or a block under your butt, anything that feels good. And now change the direction of your breath. Let yourself breathe down into the comfort of your child's pose. Feel your belly push into your thighs. There's still that little rebound of the breath coming into the backs of the ribs and the shoulders and everything, and that's totally fine. You'll feel the lower back, your SI joints spread open with breath. Just feel your spine start to relax. Feel just releasing of any sort of tension in the sides of the neck or any of the scalene muscles or your throat. Feel free to rock your forehead a little side to side if you want to massage out your brow. Take a deep breath in, fill up the lungs fill up the spine from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. And sigh it out and sink into your pose. We'll take a little twist in your child's pose, so slide your left arm underneath your right armpit. You can turn your gaze towards the right as well. If you feel like your neck is strained, if it's a little high up, you can take a block on its lowest height and place that underneath your head. And you can keep your right palm heavy. If you want, you can come up on your fingertips if you want more of an active stretch. But feel your right hand just move towards the middle of your mat and maybe a little bit over towards the left side. The arm can be heavy. You can lay that bicep on the side of your face. And breathe into any sensations that start to come up. Another breath in, feel the backs of your lungs inflate with air. Sigh it out through the mouth. If the right hand is overhead or moved at all, you can bring it back over towards the right side of your mat. Slide your left arm out. And come back to your child's pose. If you want to adjust your knees a little bit further apart or a little bit closer together. And then you'll take your twist towards the left side, so slide your right arm underneath your left armpit. Your right ear can turn to the mat as you heavy the right temple into the support of your mat. Feel your vibe in this pose. Feel your right arm reach out. You can have that pressure of the left hand pushing down. Maybe you're on your fingertips, and maybe you start to slide that left hand over a little bit towards the middle of the mat or over towards the right. You can lay that left arm, the left bicep on your face. Try to relax any tension in your right hand. A couple more breaths. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Left hand comes back over towards the left side of your mat. Slide the right hand out in front of you. And then nice and easy, start to pull yourself up to a tabletop. Walk your knees towards one another and then walk your legs backwards because I want you to come to lay down on your belly. So your legs are long, and just cactus your arms out to the side. Turn your left ear to the mat. And adjust those blocks so you can move them out of the way if they're in the path of your arms or your shoulders. And take a couple of breaths into your belly. Feel the lower back lift up away from the ground. Softening your shoulders, feeling the skin melt on the neck and on the forehead. And for now, keep your upper body the same. Keep your left leg where it is. Just start to bend your right knee out towards the right. So the knee comes up maybe to the height of the hip. Little half frog pose. Now's the time to breathe into the inner right thigh, just letting the gravity and the exhales sink that inner right hip towards the ground. Just feeling the heaviness of that inner right thigh, and maybe the right knee can move effortlessly a little bit more towards the right as you breathe. And then check in. If you want to push into it, you can always come to a deeper stretch. Just by sliding that right knee out towards the right, you can have a little pressure of that right knee, inner knee pushing down. If you want to play with extending your arms a little bit overhead, you're welcome to. Elbows can walk away, flattening the chest a little bit more if you want to walk your elbows out to the sides. 3 more breaths. Deep breath in all together. Sigh it out. Slowly re-straighten your right leg so it joins your left. And then slide your palms back down by your sides like you're about to do a push-up. And bring your forehead to the mat. And press the tops of the feet down. Just one active pose right now. Inhale, lift up to a baby cobra. Fingertips can press down, elbows can hug towards the midline. A little tuck of the chin and feel like you can lift up from the back of the neck a little bit more. Deep breath in, push down the belly, lift up the chest. Exhale, release back down. Right ear turns towards the mat. You'll cactus your arms once again. And then in your own time and your own speed, start to slide that left knee out towards the left. Remember, you don't have to start at the most intense version of the pose. You can gradually move into it over time. Taking a breath to notice where the mind is, if there's any thoughts or emotions or concerns of the day, any future planning that's going on. You can always return to that later. But for right now, let that move, let that orbit of thought broaden. And then refocus that attention to the foreground of your breath. And feel that gentle concentration on just the rise and fall of your inhales and your exhales. Practice is many things, but I think at the heart of it, it is a concentration practice. As you move your body and feel the sensation, can you allow yourself to meet those feelings with breath instead of language? Allowing for more space between those reactions. Allowing yourself to feel more of a pause. Good 4 more breaths. Deep breath in all together. Exhale it out. Begin to slide your left leg back so your legs are even. Bring your forehead back to the mat. And walk your forearms and elbows in towards you. So you're going to come up into a Sphinx pose. So you'll be on your forearms instead of your hands. Your elbows can be underneath your shoulders. And I like to move my arms, my forearms a little bit out. It just feels better in my shoulders, but feel what feels good for you. You're welcome to stay here and have a more lifted spine and a more lifted head for the next about 8 breaths or so. Or you can take a block or 2 and stack them any old way, resting the bridge of your nose on there. If you need 1 or 2 blocks, that's fine. Perhaps you can roll more of your outer hips down so the inner thighs lift up towards the ceiling. You can kind of rock a little side to side, tucking those outer hips down. Feel a softening between your shoulder blades. Michael, walk your elbows a little bit closer. Not your hands, your elbows a little bit closer. Yeah. You can turn your forearms out a little. Yeah. Can you feel the breath in the back of your waist? And if you feel if there's anywhere where the breath gets stuck, just place your attention there. It's the great thing about our bodies. You can really feel the attention. You can feel certain parts of your body when you place your attention there. So if you feel a stretch into the tops of the feet, start to send your breath there. Start to feel that breath soften the fronts of your ankles. Relax any gripping around the neck. Allow your shoulder blades to relax. Just stay with it for the next 4 of your longest and deepest breaths. One last deep breath in all together. Sigh it out. Walk the hands back towards you, starting to straighten the arms. Press the knees down. You can tuck your toes and come up to a tabletop. Move any block that's in front of you, move it off to the side. And adjust so your hands are underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your waist. Maybe for today you turn the fingertips out a little bit. And all together, lift up to a cow pose. On an inhale, drop your belly. Pull your tailbone and your chest in. Slow exhale, press the ground away, cat pose. Good. Inhale back up to your cow pose. Chest pulls forward. Feel the hands try to drag towards your knees energetically. Press the ground away, cat pose. Another one, inhale, cow pose. Exhale to your cat. Come back to a flat spine. And then tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take any movement here that you would like to pedal it out, swinging your hips side to side. If you want to stretch the hip and take a three-legged dog on either side, you're more than welcome to. Yeah. Crack the toes, crack the wrists, get them all out. Doesn't have to be a yoga pose. Just breathe into any movement that you need. And then everybody reach your right leg up to the sky. And then you'll come into a pigeon pose on the right side, so your right knee will come towards your outer right wrist. If your lower leg is on an angle, that's okay. Just point the toes. If you can move it up so the shin is more even with the front of the mat, you can work on flexing your toes, or dorsiflexing the toes in the foot and the toes back towards the knee. Either way, you start to walk yourself down. You have blocks there if you want to block underneath your head and one underneath your chest. Take a really nice variation into our pigeon pose today. You can stay here in the classic pose, folding over your right thigh. If you want, you can start to walk your arms and your upper body over towards the left of your mat. So you take a side bend. So your arms come over towards the left. You feel a gentle curve in the right ribs. And then start to send all of your breath there. Feel like you can isolate all of your breath into the right lung. And breathe into those ribs, stretching the muscles in between. breaths. At the very crown of, and imagine that any concern, any injury, anything that's just shake out anything there. And just yourself back to neutral. Spill it out the mouth. Begin to walk. And in your own time, make a dog. Feel free to stack your right hip open here again if that would feel good. Feel free to take 3 breaths into still downward facing dog if that would. And try. Ready, your pigeon pose on your left. Taking the first, really setting your base. Pigeon pose, we can feel the asymmetry in the hip. So just take your breath, figure out. Not necessarily the pose to feel. You can start to left. left lung. Know that you're on that side. I like to think about just a little gentle massage of the back of the heart happening. And then everybody making your way up and stack the hips. Do any sort of counter movement that you need. Can I adjust you a little bit? Yeah, bend your knees. Walk your hands slightly forward. Yeah, feel like a cow pose. Yeah, tight hamstrings, huh? Yeah, bend. Good. And then everybody come down to your knees. Walk the hands back towards you. Feel free to drink as much water as you like here. It's a cool one. How's everybody doing? Bring your head towards the mirrors. Back. That's when we butterfly the knees and sides. You have blocks there, and I'd recommend having them. You can just bring the knee open towards the sides. You got it. Yeah. Back. Soles of the feet. And those blocks. You can start with the blocks really. We'll be here for isn't rocking your. Take a softer breath in. Sigh off. Like that, inhale. Hands back up to center. Lock yourself. Release back down. Or they can come to a T. And then bring both knees up into your chest. Take a high twist. Laying outer. You're welcome to use your if you want. little bit north of the belly, like in feel a softness into the jaw. Eyes and the nostrils. Stay here in the method. Of your blocks. So you're probably about. And here, you're welcome to stay exactly for the next 7 or 8 breaths. You can start to walk your legs away from you if you want an opening to the hips. Or they're long. Towards the ceiling. Pulling back to your hips. Getting some fresh blood, some fresh circulation. You exhale, start to walk the feet back towards you if your legs are and soles of the feet to the ground. down with your feet to lift the hips up so you can remove. And then just windshield wiper the then taking a deep breath in all together. Sigh out. As long as you like.